Earlier, we start the program and make mention, say today my guest na Victor Reider, we na be former member of parliament under Pakaba in regime from 2002-2007, where they don't come back and get plans for go into active politics. Well, waiting at the reason for that. Well, make it in at the studio and go can talk about this particular issue. Good afternoon once more and welcome to the program in the show.
Yeah, good afternoon to the people of Sierra Leone and thank you for welcoming me.
Just take me back to the era when you be there into active politics. Would that be Victor Reider, just for member people, for people who go to listen?
Well, actually, Victor Reider now a son of the soil, born in the western area, been very active throughout my life in national interest with regards to the progress of this country. I mean, I was a youth leader in my time when I was growing up. And as a young teenager, I joined the Sierra Leone People's Party in 1978, following the student demonstration that actually rocked the APC to its core. Then it was Sheikh Stevens. And from 1978, throughout my period of time, I've been a member of the SLPP. And then there was an interregnum. Of course, we all are aware of that in 1992, if I'm not mistaken, the MPRC came in. That was after President Stevens left in 85, Momo took over. The situation went worse. The war started in 1991, 92, the NPRC intervened. They spent 4 years. And in 1996, the SLPP, successfully won the elections. That was post the rebel war. And in 2000, I was appointed by the party to represent the SLPP at the Freetown City Council, where I became the chairman, Municipal Trade Committee, and in the process, I was able to carry out several programs and several projects that are still evidently available for people to see. These includes markets, pipe-borne water system, toilets, etc. And 2 years after, in 2002, I was elected to Parliament. And a year after, at the demise of the late Honorable S.B. Mara as leader of the House, the late His Excellency President Kaba appointed Honorable Arias Lagao to succeed late S.B. Mara. And then he appointed me as the Deputy Chief Whip. Effectively, I became the kingpin. I was responsible to ensure that bills that were being piloted in Parliament from the executive to the legislature were handled by me and Teacher Lagao. So I went through that for a while. In 2005, I was elected in our national convention in Makeni as the National Publicity Secretary, and that actually made me the face of the party because I had to, I suppose this is a Creole program, eh?
Of course.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Go ahead. So, so I get for become the face of the party because I was put in a position where I had to now satisfy the curiosity of the media, both nationally and internationally. Okay. And because I believe in total commitment, my guiding principle has always been vision, integrity, and commitment. Anything what they do, what I say yes to, I don't care if I have to make the ultimate sacrifice, but it has to be spirit, soul, and body. That's me. So I went through that. APC was not too friendly with regards to my manner of carrying out my job. So when we lost the election, I left.
Okay. You just don't explain about you active role into politics back then under President Kaba in tenure na Salon. You being member of parliament, being active to the party, and you being the publicity sector as well. What will be your contribution during the time towards national development?
I get a couple of landmarks around, in my constituency, for example, where in my prime area of operations. I'll be able to build a community center for me people, which is first of its kind in the whole of Western area, if not the country as it were. And you can imagine that my constituency then was 107, unlike now we don't rename it to 125. Now the center of Freetown. So land not there anymore, So now be a challenge for get land in the first place, talk less to build a structure. So, out of the inspiration of God and the support of the people, we decide for build the community center suspended on top the Sambagota. Oh, it was a big deal. We had to fight forces that were determined not to see that program through. But thank God we succeeded. Today, it is serve the community, irrespective of which party within the power. So before President Kabago opened that all day, the two streets them we flank the community center, now be impassable streets them, portal reading, So I say, no, this not for me. So I therefore ensured that we overhaul the two streets them, tar them properly. Up till today, then tar them, they still last. Then we begin take we streets them one after the other. We go over to, I think that was, I cannot remember exactly the names of the streets anymore. It's been a while, but evidence are there to show what I'm talking about. However, apart from that, I built a school down at Kube when I've been in need of the people on the Fawi, And Kube, as you know, also not get land. So we get for suspend that one day on pillars. I think it's about 24 pillars. But today the school, they serve the picking them, and a host of other things. People benefited from jobs that I piloted, processed, etc., etc. Today they work. Sometimes I can work and I treat someone come meet me say, hey, Honorable, you don't remember me again? I say, no, I don't remember. Now me, you give that job, I still lady, So we tell God thank you for that.
Now, let we go back to Parliament, and you make mention you even go to a point of being the whip. We be in a parliament, and we know say parliament they pass different type of bills them way gets for affect the lives of people them during your tenure in a parliament. What are some of the things them where you contribute to in terms of bills them where go seek the interest of the people them where as you don't do now you go point out say well now we been partake pan this we make the elect today people in the benefit. What are some of the things we be
several bills, but I go zero in on two. Very important. They are up to my heart. The bill will, legalize the commitment of government to the girl child, and also the human rights bill. These are two bills that were dear to my heart because you cannot talk of development in a country where you sideline over 52% of the population, which is about the percentage of we women folks, So you can't sideline that great, huge number of population that you expect the country for develop. No way. So I was very, very passionate about that bill. Another bill we have been passionate about now the human rights bill. I don't believe in oppressing or suppressing opposition. No. Me think say the focus for develop this country for everybody. Believe me, if this country develop, opposition will become meaningless because the time where opposition they become intense now out of poverty and lack. Because when people they not get what they want, now they tend and they direct their attention to who that they rule them. But if who that they rule them provide the needs, believe me, they don't care. They don't care if na XYZ or PYC or green, yellow, brown or blue. The major thing we for concentrate our attention on now for enhance the welfare of our people them. And how you go enhance the welfare of your people them, except you create an enabling political environment where we will be free of oppression and victimization. So you attract the pool of talents of the entire country. Everybody can make a contribution. Everybody get a role in a life. Your own role, I cannot do. Nor can you do my role. I have my comfort zone, you have your comfort zone. But if we put everything together, the entire society will benefit.
So in short, just summary, under Pakaba and leadership where you work under, how you would describe the type of leader where Pakaba be?
Wow. In my assessment, Pakaba has been one of the best we have ever had in this country. Now, human being, getting flaws, but believe me, Pakaba was what I could describe as meticulous in everything we've been to do. If Pakaba say, una for do this, maybe he not get and radiate. But if he find the right people away for push and for member and say, hey, pana, so you been say for do, he would jump onto it and he go see and through. You know, but again, na possibly like most leaders, you know, most leaders no like forget people that were too bright. I'm sorry to say, because sometimes they feel that they are overshadowed and it's not too good for them. But I think the best leaders should accommodate people of like mind or people even brighter than them, because they could be bright in other areas, but in, you know, engendering the, you know, the talents generally, maybe that is not their strength. So if other people have that strength, they should not feel frightened or subsumed by those talents. I think they should rise above any form of, you know, I would not refer to it as such. I wanted to use a word, but it's not appropriate. I think they should rise above the frailties of human character. We all get in character in the, you know, everybody like for shine, but we all get space for shine. The cloud is too big for a clash. What do you mean say plane not a get accident, then bang themselves? The sky is too big. We all can play, we play. This is a platform for everybody, but we need a coordinator who understands that and is ready to coordinate the talents that God provided. For every country, there are talents that are destined to develop those countries. But if you suppress them, you oppress them, the country will continue to suffer. That's why the Human Rights Bill, for me, was up to my heart.
So, despite all the challenge during the time where you've been a work under Pakaba, unable to achieve anything?
Oh, absolutely. If not to be Pakaba, will not be for lay the foundation, we take we out of the war and set we on the path of sustainable development. What I mean by that, Pakaba be able to establish all the institutional structures will be need, like NRA, NACIT, you know, and National Council of Democracy. All of these were established. And these are institutions that are serving our people today. Without those institutions, I'm afraid we could have collapsed into anarchy again if it were not for Pakaba. You know, God not they do anything by mistake. Pakaba have been the right post-war leader.
Mr. Reider, before we go, you don't talk about you tell me you work, which are some of the things the way you do. Now you don't come back. You want to go into active politics. What's the reason for that?
I still believe, say, we people then deserve me sacrifice. And honestly, with humility, I can tell you, see, I get a lot for offer to humanity, not only Sierra Leoneans. So that is why I'm going back to governance. So
what's new this time around where you get for bring to the table in terms of the politics? How you plan for go about them?
Well, my mind open, you know. I depend on me people and decision. I mean, people then go decide, say, well, now this we want, let you do for we. So, me not to that type of person who they impose power on people, you know. That's why I usually enjoy power.
So
because, you know, I have cultivated the habit of generating power from below.
So going back into politics, what actually you have for be active into, what you plan for do?
I think you just turn the question around again and come back with the same thing. Waiting I get for do in politics na salon go depend on waiting the people and decide for make a do. That is to say, then go recommend to me waiting exactly then things in the who sign at the area where then things I can serve them most. Then I'll take it from there.
You know somebody we don't day into governance structure, thinking of what you don't do and the different position the way do all na society. Now coming back into now the governance system na the country. What do you think say na some of the things them way you think say don't go wrong, we still missing, we need for be addressed?
Yeah, I think a lot has been done. Frankly, there is genuine effort to move the country forward. But I honestly believe, say, we still not tap the resources where we get judiciously. By that I mean the human and the material resources. This is a wealthy country potentially. All we need is visionary leadership. And that visionary leadership must have the people that are willing, ready, and able to team up with him and move the country forward. Like I said in my last program, I see the willingness in the current head of state, His Excellency President Madabio. He is willing, but no man can do that alone. He needs the support of everybody. So, and also, there is another aspect of that area of human resource, catering. Some people, they're in positions where they know they perform. Not to say they mean not for perform, or then deliberately no one for perform. But you cannot give what you do not have. It's a question of capacity. You can only give what you have. So they may have done their best, but their best is not enough. We need to move this country forward. This country too small for this type of headache the world they get. But one thing will for be ready for stamp out na corruption. We for bury corruption. Corruption should be seen as treason.
So how forget about that?
It has to be from the willingness of the leadership and the rest of the governance structure. When you have a leader that is willing, a leader that is ready, believe you me, if we set the mark, you go left money in a cotton safe, Manfred for go take her. It used to be the case in Sierra Leone, formerly, before Sheikh Stevens turned this country upside down. Where we foot then at the air, we head then na ground. Formerly, prior to Sheikh Stevens, even prior to Albert Magai, because now the problem begin with corruption. Then 10 and day, if somebody go jail, the whole family they shame, the whole family they embarrass. And when that person they come out jail, they get party again. Now jail don't turn touristic attraction. Because the culture where Sheikh Stevens imbued into this society is so deep-seated and so deep-rooted that you need another leader strong with that character to root out that structure. That is why when President Bio say a national security problem, corruption, I'm very much excited because it is a national security problem. We need to go one step further, that corruption should be regarded as treasonable, because not treason. You betray the people, millions of people, and they suffer because of people where they thief money. Where instead of they use the money for the people, the welfare, then they thief them, use them for themselves. So people and they suffer. The leadership ready, willing for move the country forward. But President Bio cannot do it alone. It needs the support of all of us.
Now, apart from corruption, where you just don't highlight, where you just don't make mention, say still a problem. What are some of the other things them where you think say government need for address, where go make good governance day, and the peace way Pakaba Bidom already established continue, make we maintain them?
If you stop corruption, then you get the twin sister of corruption when a sycophancy. Instead of telling the leader, frankly, waiting at the thing when all right, they go begin the yelibatura. Sycophancy, where it must say sycophancy, we call it Belleh. If we stop Belleh, we stop corruption, we'll get a healthy society.
Just quick one, as we know, me give for wrap up with the program. This message na Facebook we come out from Ibrahim Karim. They say the only sustainable development in Sierra Leone is our institutions. No electricity, no water, no road, no medical. You want to respond to this particular message where this post is on Facebook?
Well, this not just a wake-up call. You know, this not the perception of the people. So what I would say is we need to do more. Now make important for that we all put we shoulders to the wheel and help the leadership of His Excellency the President.
So going back into politics, waiting people for hope for as we wrap up?
I think say them for hope for a more robust approach to governance in this country. I think say now that the president hopefully would be going to his second term, he definitely would have the right type of atmosphere and the right type of zeal to pursue what he has started. Because, I mean, when you go second term, you know, say you hardly go get for come back to, for come begin the, you know, manage people that were not sober. So that then you can take decisions for make sure, say, your legacy be, you know, one that could last till eternity. So I believe he will do that and we will get a more robust approach to governance and development in this country.
Okay, we're plenty thank you for joining the program today. Well, my guest today na Victor Reider, we na be first member of parliament under the Salon People's Party from 2002 to 2007 and self beget different position na the party. Well, after a very long time, he don't come back and want to go back into active politics.